Have you ever prayed and felt absolutely nothing back? Like your words disappeared into silence and the ceiling was the only thing listening. You go to church, temple, mosque. You watch motivational videos. You try to stay positive. Try to be a good person. But deep down, something still feels missing. You smile in front of people, but inside, your soul feels distant from God. And here's the scary part. Some of the people who look the most religious on the outside still feel empty on the inside. So what's the secret? What if getting closer to God has nothing to do with pretending to be perfect and everything to do with being real? Stay with me until the end, because one truth in this video could completely transform your relationship with God forever. Look, every single person on this planet is searching for something. Peace, not fake happiness that disappears after 5 minutes, not likes on social media, not money, status, or attention that leaves you feeling empty the next day. Real peace, the kind that calms your heart at night, even when life feels heavy. And deep inside, whether people admit it or not, most believe that true peace comes from getting closer to God. But here's where almost everyone gets lost. They search for God in performances instead of connection. Some think it's about rituals. Some think it's about rules. Some live in fear, believing God is always angry with them. But what if being close to God isn't about acting perfect? What if it's about having a sincere heart? Today, we're going deeper than religion, deeper than appearances, and uncovering the truth that could completely change the way you see God and yourself forever. You know what's honestly heartbreaking? So many people believe they have to become perfect before they can get close to God. They think, I need to fix my life first. I need to stop failing. I've made too many mistakes. God probably gave up on me already. But let me ask you something. When a little child falls while learning to walk, does a loving parent scream at them and walk away? No. They rush toward them. They lift them up. They hold them even tighter. So why do we believe God does the opposite? The moment people mess up, they hide from God. They stop praying, stop believing, stop hoping. But maybe the moment you feel most broken is actually the moment you need God the most. Because God was never waiting for a perfect version of you. He was waiting for the real you, the exhausted you, the confused you, the hurting you. Sometimes the strongest prayer isn't a fancy speech. It's one honest sentence whispered in the dark. God, I don't know what to do anymore. And that kind of honesty, it changes everything. But here's the shocking part. Many people talk about God every day, yet never truly talk to Him. Think about that for a second. And here's something most people never realize. You can post quotes about God, argue about religion, even attend services every week, and still never truly connect with Him. Because knowing about God is not the same as knowing God. One is information, the other is relationship. And that changes everything. We live in a world filled with constant noise, notifications, social media, opinions, drama, endless distractions. Your mind never truly rests. And then people wonder, why can't I feel God anymore? Because noise drowns out peace. You can't hear a whisper in the middle of chaos. That's why some of the deepest moments with God happen in silence, late at night, when nobody's watching, when the world finally slows down. There was a man who spent years chasing success, money, luxury, attention. Everyone thought he had everything. But inside, he felt empty. Then one night, everything collapsed. Alone in silence, with no distractions left, he whispered, God, I need you. And that single honest moment changed his entire life. Because sometimes, silence is where the soul finally hears God clearly. But wait, this next truth might make some people uncomfortable. Because a lot of people think being religious automatically means being close to God. But appearances can fool people. God doesn't just look at what you do in public. He looks at who you are when nobody else is watching. A lot of people today are performing spirituality instead of living it. They want to look holy more than they want to be transformed. So they post inspirational quotes, act perfect in public, judge everybody else, and try to build this flawless image online. But inside, they're fighting jealousy, pride, anger, bitterness, ego. And here's the scary truth. You might fool people with your image, but you will never fool God, because God sees the version of you nobody else sees, the private you, the thoughts you hide, the pain you never talk about, the tears nobody notices, the battles inside your mind at 2 a.m. And surprisingly, that's the exact version of you God wants to heal. Not the fake mask, not the performance, the real you. Think about some of the most powerful spiritual people in history. Many of them were deeply flawed, broken, imperfect. But they had one thing most people don't: humility. A proud heart says, I can handle life on my own. But a humble heart whispers, God, I need you every single day. And that kind of honesty, it changes everything forever. This is the part most people don't want to hear. Sometimes pain is not punishment. Sometimes pain is the wake-up call your soul needed. Think about your hardest moments for a second. The heartbreak that shattered you, the betrayal you never expected, the lonely nights, the anxiety, the silent tears nobody knew about. Now ask yourself honestly, wasn't that also the season when you search for God the most? Because when life feels comfortable, people often drift away spiritually. They become distracted, busy, numb. But pain has a strange way of opening the heart. There are people who ignored God for years until life completely broke them. And in that brokenness, they discovered something deeper than success or comfort. They discovered dependence on God. Now don't misunderstand this. God is not sitting in heaven enjoying your suffering. But sometimes He allows certain storms to remove the distractions destroying your soul. Sometimes the collapse of your plans becomes the beginning of your healing. And honestly, some of the strongest faith is not built during easy seasons. It's built in the moments when all you can do is whisper, God, please don't leave me here alone. Question for you. What if the pain you've been fighting, the heartbreak, the failure, the loneliness, isn't destroying you? What if it's breaking the walls around your heart so you can finally hear God clearly for the first time in your life? Sometimes the darkest season leads to the brightest awakening. Here's the secret most people completely miss. Getting close to God usually doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens quietly, through small daily connection, a simple prayer before bed, thanking God when you wake up, helping someone without expecting credit, choosing forgiveness instead of revenge, sitting alone in silence for a few minutes. These tiny moments may seem small, but repeated every day, they slowly transform your soul. Think about any strong relationship. You don't become deeply connected overnight. Trust and closeness are built little by little. The same is true with God. But many people only talk to God during emergencies. When life falls apart, suddenly they pray. But real connection happens when you invite God into ordinary life too. While driving, working, walking, laughing, even crying. Because when your heart stays connected to God daily, even ordinary moments begin to feel sacred. Want to know one of the most powerful ways to feel closer to God? Love people. Seriously. Not fake kindness for attention, not posting motivational quotes online while treating people badly in real life. Real love. Helping someone when nobody is watching. Checking on someone who's struggling. Forgiving a person who hurt you deeply. Listening to someone who feels invisible to the world. Because love reflects the heart of God. but hatred, ego, jealousy, and cruelty. Those things slowly darken the soul, and this explains why some people pray every single day, yet still feel spiritually empty inside, because spirituality without love becomes performance. God is not impressed by perfect speeches if the heart is cold. And maybe the people closest to God are not always the loudest voices in the room. Maybe it's the quiet person who makes others feel safe, seen, and valued. That kind of love carries the presence of God. And honestly, that hits differently when you really think about it. Now here's the biggest truth in this entire video. You don't find God the way you find a lost object, because God was never truly far away. Most of the time, we are the ones distracted, too busy, too numb, too consumed by noise, fear, pride, and pain. The real battle is not getting God to come closer. It's removing the walls inside our own hearts, the bitterness, the ego, the distractions, the fear of being vulnerable. And once those walls begin to fall, you suddenly realize something powerful. God was with you the whole time. During the nights you cried silently, He was there. During the heartbreak, He was there. During the confusion and loneliness, He never left. You just couldn't see Him clearly yet. So maybe this video is your sign to stop running. Stop pretending to have everything together. Stop waiting to become perfect before turning to God. Just come honestly, because one sincere heart can connect with God faster than 1,000 perfect performances ever could. So, how do you truly get close to God? Not by pretending to be perfect, not by acting spiritual in front of people, not by living in constant fear. Real closeness to God comes through honesty, humility, love, gratitude, quiet moments, and daily connection. It's found in the small moments nobody else sees. One honest prayer can change your entire direction in life. One sincere conversation with God can heal parts of you the world never could. And maybe tonight, instead of spending hours scrolling through distractions, pause for a moment, sit quietly, put the phone down, take a deep breath, and just talk to God honestly. No fake image, no memorized words, no performance. Just you, your heart, and God. Tell Him what you're afraid of. Tell Him what hurts. Tell Him what you've been hiding inside. Because sometimes the moment you stop pretending is the exact moment your relationship with God finally becomes real. If this video spoke to your heart even a little bit, take 1 second and hit the like button and subscribe for more videos that help you grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But before you leave, I want you to comment one powerful word below. Closer. If you're ready to stop running, stop pretending, and truly grow closer to God starting today, because the strongest people are not the ones who hide their pain. They're the ones brave enough to bring their brokenness to God. And maybe that's where real healing finally begins.